I, Jake, am the DM for tonight's session. My favorite thing about Ross is he introduced me to this hobby, and has always encouraged me to be my creative self, and that has really inspired this whole game to happen to begin with. With that aside, we can go ahead and step into character creation.
Ooh.
This let's not skip around. Let's just go right into it. We'll start with ancestries. Strictly because if we're starting at level 0, our ancestries are going to kind of change how some other stuff happens. Does anyone have any strong feelings about what ancestry they would like to have?
I would like to be an elf.
All right. Mark that down. Elf.
Do all of them work in the setting?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
I mean, yeah.
I would like to roll.
You would like to? Okay, go for it.
That's a good idea, actually. Yeah, I can I do that too?
Yeah, let's do it.
2,
Yeah,
3, 4, 5, 6. Oh yeah, nice, neat.
I'm a half orc.
I'm kind of leaning goblin or human, honestly.
That
but
went well
rolling
last
is
time.
Tempting.
I think my internet's struggling. I'm in. Okay, I want to reroll. I don't like that.
What's the point of rolling if you're not going to accept the roll, though?
I did it again. I don't like it.
I figure it's fated. You are fated to be a 3.
Oh wait, he's rolling a d6.
Is that not the number of things?
That's it, right?
Yeah,
Oh
there's
right.
6 of them.
Okay, I'm sorry. I'm looking at a thing in the back of the Shadowdark that you linked me, Ross. There's a thing on the very last page that says ancestry on a d12. 1 to 4 is human. So I
Oh,
thought you were
interesting.
really against being a human.
Oh yeah, no, I am playing an elf in another game, so I wanted to be less elfy. And I got my favorite one anyway, so I love
What'd
it
you
so
get?
much. Halfling.
Halfling for Ross. And Link.
So I rolled and I got human, and I was between human and goblin. But part of me, after rolling human, when you pick that random and there's one you kind of wish you'd gotten, kind of wishing I'd gone goblin. So maybe I want to go goblin.
Alright, just go
If that's-
Goblin. Let's do it.
Makes sense to me.
Goblin. And then, Sean, you said you got half orc?
Yep.
Awesome.
What's the other half?
Yeah, exactly.
It's
Who
also
knows?
orc.
It's also, it could be. Honestly, we're cool with it. So that will lead us right into, we'll do stats next, because starting as level 0, nobody is being a dwarf, so your hit points are equal to your constitution modifier to a minimum of 1. So what we'll do is we'll just go Sean, Thomas, Ross, Lane. We'll all roll for strength, and we'll roll 3d6, and then we'll go the same rotation through Dex, through Con, through Intelligence, through Wisdom, through Charisma. We'll do that.
I'm into it.
Alrighty. So Sean, kick us off with 3d6.
Well,
Nice.
which is what it was before I erased my old character.
Thomas.
$13.
13. Alright. Ross.
I got a 9.
9. Lane.
13.
Heck yeah.
Strong goblin.
Yeah. Let's still go in the Dex. Sean.
13.
And strong. Thomas.
9.
Front row. Someone's slow. Ross.
I can't ever escape it. I can't.
8.
8.
Oh,
Hey, you
no.
got him beat. It's alright.
If we all roll below a 14, we get to re-roll all 6 of them, don't we?
We'll get there when we get there. Lane? Oh, he's on the phone. There we go. 12. Okay, back to Sean.
12.
Come on.
All right.
Also 12.
Nice.
I'm a real con man.
Haha. Thomas.
9.
Alright. Ross.
11.
Lane.
Oh, 10. All right.
Nice. So I was doing intelligence next, so we'll go Sean.
10.
Nice. Thomas.
14.
Alright. Ross.
A 10 in intelligence.
Nice. Lane. 15. Alright. Sean.
I
Wisdom.
like how the goblin is the smartest one of us.
I do. Well, they're tied.
Oh man, I'm so
Nope,
glad
that's
somebody's
right.
playing a goblin.
13.
13. Alright. Thomas.
9.
9. Ross.
7.
7. Lane.
I'm rolling good tonight. This is so. What wait, was that for?
That's for wisdom. 12.
Wisdom. Okay.
And then charisma. Sean. Oh!
With a half
Nice.
orc. Yeah.
Yeah, that's about perfect.
What'd he get?
A 6.
Oh no.
I guess the other half is orc after all.
Thomas.
11.
11. Alright. Ross.
8. The most
8.
average
Oh,
man
man.
in the world.
Come on, Goblin. Be the face of the party. You got a chance.
Let's see.
4.
Nope. 4.
You were the chosen one.
I love it. I love how like the suspense. He actually got below a 6. That's great. All right. So Ross, you have one more roll if you would like to take it.
Oh,
To swap a stat. Because you did not roll a 14.
okay. You want me to? Okay, I'll reroll.
Yeah, you have one more reroll. 8. So now you can swap out any of your rolls with your reroll. So you can swap out your wisdom, which is a 7, for an 8.
All right.
Right. Sean, you also have a reroll if you'd like to take it.
All right,
7.
7. You know what? I'll take it. Bump
All
up that
right.
charisma. It changes nothing.
That's great. So Lane has a 14 and so does Thomas. So those are our stats. So constitutions will equal HP. So Ross, you'll start with 1 HP. Sean, you'll start with 1 HP. Lane, you'll start with 1 HP. And Thomas, you'll start with 1 HP. I love it. So now let me pull up my PDF so I have the background sheet here. And we'll go into backgrounds. So we'll go ahead and start with Ross this time. Go ahead and give me a D20 and determine your background.
Uh, 19.
A 19. you have the background of a noble.
Nice.
What I will say this gives you is advantage on like any check that would be charisma based for like manners, etiquette, dressing, like the proper customs, like anything that has to do with customs. You would have advantage on those kind of checks.
Alright.
And like you would also, I think, have advantage on like history checks when it deals with noble houses. And in that case, I'd also like you to roll me a d12 for your noble house.
4.
4 would be House Hykides. Hikedes. Hykides. Hykides is known for owning a lot of mines north of here. You would have some relation to them. I'd like to think like maybe you're not like, maybe you're like a second cousin or something to them, and you can still consider yourself one of them, but like maybe you're an outsider amongst the family.
Okay.
I like to think of that. Alright, next we'll go to Sean. D20 for your background.
Mistake. Oh god.
Yeah.
A 17, and I have the list up as well, so.
Yes, you got minstrel. So
Great.
you will have advantage when playing music, which would be a charisma check, and you'd also have advantage whenever remembering verses, songs, and also like I said, I don't know. Never mind. Forget what else I was going to say. But yes, you will have advantage of musical checks for sure. I love it. A minstrel half work. It's great. All right. Next we'll go into Lane.
Turn on. Okay, 11.
11. You got
Mercenary.
Ooh.
Yes.
Mercenary
I will say, friend and foe alike for your coin. I think what this gives you is it gives you a gilly bottle. Contact Gumroot Pirates. Gumroot Pirates are pretty prominent mercenary guild in the area, and you would have a way to contact them. We'll leave the actual like relationship closed door for now, and we can open that later down the road. But like, I like to think that you have contacts if you need them.
Nice.
And then we'll go ahead and go into Thomas.
12.
12. A sailor, pirate, privateer, merchant. The sea is yours. This is a really perfect for my setting. Of course, it gives you a lot of versatility of like who you think you are. But the important part with sailor is you will be able to determine tides and seasonal changes instantly. You'll be able to tell those type of things, but you also have advantage when navigating in water, so you can mark that down. But yeah, I'd like to like what do you think your sailing past was like?
I feel like are we gonna roll for our classes, or are we gonna get to pick those?
So level 0, you actually don't start with a class. Like, you actually have to level up to level 1 to get a class.
Okay.
So, but yeah, you'll definitely be chosen whenever we get to that point.
Okay. Well, in that case, I'm gonna choose to be a wizard, since my intelligence is my highest score, and
Okay.
I'm gonna say that I'm a wizard's apprentice on a sailing ship. I'm not sure how that would work out. Is that can you give me a little bit like what would a wizard be doing on a boat? Was it like he was raised on the seas and he just happened to have an attentiveness for wizardry, and he's stumbling upon it and discovering it himself, even though he's been a sailor his whole childhood, and he just realizes that he has this magic ability about him?
Yeah, I think an apprentice wizard could literally be up to whatever they want to be up to. I think wizards are like one of those few people in the world that actually have the ability to take things for themselves and claim what they want to. So maybe your studentship with this wizard actually allowed you to gain passage aboard with other sailors, and like through your scholarship, for lack of a better term, we actually were granted this service under sailors' flags and stuff, that you were able to gain these trade skills in addition to your wizardry talent.
Okay,
Yeah,
cool.
Like whatever you think your wizard prowess will be, we can explore that later. But yeah, I think that'll be great. Do you have a name picked out?
Yeah, Xander Vega.
Xander.
Xander.
Cool. Lane, do you have a name picked out for your goblin?
Oh, that's a good question. Trying to think of a new one. My standard goblin name is Craw, C-R-A-W.
C-R-A-W. Is that what you'd like, or would you like to pick something else?
I'll use that one. Just
all right, Craw. Also, Lane, since you are a goblin, you gain the unique privilege of knowing what the word Untaga means. So, Oontaga is a goblin word.
Well, I know what that word means.
What does that word mean, Ron?
I have it back here in my notes. Untaga. It would take me too long to... I was looking at it the other day. It took me too long to get it, though. Go ahead.
So he doesn't know what that word means.
It doesn't know, but that's okay. He tried. The word means snack, but it could also be used. It could also be used in a way to wish someone good luck. Like, I hope you find good Untaga today. And it's kind of like a weird thing that goblins are into.
That works for the name, because I figure his name's Craw because he's got a really big mouth.
Nice. Sean, you have a name picked out.
Yes, I am Snaggletooth the Grumpy.
Nice.
Snaggletooth.
Oh.
Awesome. Ross?
Hob Cinder Gem.
Hob. Great. You say Sminder Gym?
It is now.
Sminder Gym.
Sminder. That's way better.
I had to scrunch the letters together to make it fit with the small space I had for the name. It's great. All right. Then we can get into gear. So level 0, you guys are nobodies. Whatever happened in your past, you kind of ended up at square one again at this point in your life. So go ahead and everybody give me a D4. That's how many objects you start with.
4.
4.
Nice.
Damn.
4.
1.
Nice. 1. You had to break the chain. Oh man. So you each now get to roll a D12 that many times. So Ross, we'll start with yours because you only have 1.
Caltrops, a bag of them.
Nice.
Nice.
It's your 1 item you have with you. Alright. Let's go in Lane next.
8.
8 is iron spikes. 10 iron spikes.
10 iron spikes.
And you rolled a 4, right? So you can get 3 more items.
Okay, yeah. Let's see. Iron spikes, a 9.
9 for flint and steel. Always useful.
3.
3, a pole.
And 1 more, right? Okay.
Yep.
12.
12 caltrops for 1 bag.
Nice.
Yeah, lots of spiky bits. Alright, Thomas, let's go to your 4 rolls.
Okay, hold on 1 second. My internet's lagging out on me. Hold on.
You're good.
Okay. All right. 11.
11, you get a club.
Okay.
And 3 more rolls.
5.
5, you get rope. 60 feet of rope.
Okay. 12.
12, you get 1 bag of caltrops. We got all of the caltrops. Love it.
And 1 more.
Yup.
5.
5, you got more rope. You got rope for days, son. Probably because you're a sailor, you got a bunch of rigging rope with you.
Nice.
Alright. And Sean.
I'm much lazier than the rest of these people. So 11, 10, 11, 11, 11. Shit.
Oh my gosh. You have
We
a
need
club.
those. You're the arms
grappling
dealer.
hook, a club and a club. You have clubs. I love it. Clubs. Got
Well,
clubs,
you know,
clubs.
it's for when I go clubbing.
And you have a grappling hook, which is useful. Alright.
That is such a weird. Oh my god. I love it.
Oh, so great. Okay.
The half orc has a bag full of clubs.
Right?
So, inventory. You have your inventory slots. Once those are filled, you can carry no more items. 100 coins is all you can fit in a single slot, unless you have bags to carry them. In which case the bag is take up the slot anyway. But yeah, inventory is going to be a big thing in this game, and I have to look over the rules again to make sure that I understand. Thank you. I might homebrew it whenever it doesn't make sense. But I kind of want to run it more like a typical like old school game, where you have like I think the character sheet even had like 20 slots on it. I think we will use it as is for now, but it might make more sense if we change it up later. I don't know. We'll kind of play that by ear, but inventory will be a big part of this game, as this game is primarily a dungeon crawl, a mega dungeon crawl. So like that's the whole point of this is trying to get in, get treasure, and come back out. Speaking of treasure, you guys has no money, except for Hob, who has a single gold piece to their name because he was a noble, or at least has some relation to nobles. So Hob has a single gold piece, and with your gear that you have now, you guys could go and trade it, or you can keep what you have. However, we can get into a little bit of the setting for this game. So I'm gonna roll 20. See if I remember how to do this. We will go ahead and move over to this one. Boom. Alright, so you might have to zoom out quite a bit to see this, because I got this collage of images to try to make this vision that I have relatable in some way, shape, or form. Go ahead and turn this off, and we will turn on this one. Okay. So this is Emberfield. Emberfield is a city, or town rather. It's a very small city, built on the lower end, the lowest isle of Lambu. And it's known for having these like volcanic geysers and these fields of flame that kind of surround the town. So the town itself sits in this walled section, where there are all these houses built. A large chapel is the most predominant feature within the city walls. There's also a small rose garden and a statue of a minstrel in the middle of town. Just outside of town, on the outside of the wall, in the fields of fire and smoke, are these massive forges, these factories where men and dwarves alike are constantly hammering out weaponry and other items of interest for the military. As the Akellan War has come into a close to the north of here, people are kind of on edge that a new war will break out, as the chaos that's going on to the Northern Isles, it has not subdued yet. In addition to the flames which surround the town, there's also a forest of charred trees just south of the forages. So these not mounts, hundreds of trees that line up the area are just like blackened. But oddly enough, like normally charred wood becomes very brittle, but these trees have stood for centuries this way. To the north of the city, there is this large mansion that lays on the cliffside that's been abandoned. Since then, these vines and brambles have kind of grown up around the house and overtaken the building. So the locals kind of refer to it as the Bramble House. In fact, no one even remembers who lived there. And to the southmost part of the island, just before you reach the shoreline, there is a cairn known as the Fiddler's Casket. The Fiddler's Casket is like this legendary tomb, and nobody goes in there because it's super, super haunted. But this is where our adventure takes place. So you guys have all came here from your own backgrounds, from whatever you were into before, and ended up here in Emberfield. So Emberfield is kind of taking a back foot at this point because we're in the middle of Horde's Meet. Today would be the 9th of Horde's Meet. This is just after the harvests have all gone. And once the fields have been harvested, that's when the flames really take up. And it seems like as soon as all the grain is brought in, then all of a sudden the fields, these barren soil fields, just break out in these volcanic geysers of heat and flame and smoke and smog. However, so the city itself is kind of making do with the forages that they have going on, and they have food for the winter, but things are kind of a little uneasy in town. The local tavern, or inn rather, is the Whaletail Inn. It's called the Whaletail Inn because the building itself, the gables on it, kind of convex and then bow back out again and look just like a whale's tail. So the Whaletail Inn is probably where you guys would have all met each other, which we can kind of get into now. So we'll go ahead and start our game off real quick with all of you guys in the tavern. You guys probably have never met each other, but you guys all know that you have no money. And this is where we'll kind of step out character and talk about things that you would like out of this game, because I, as the dungeon master, I'm like really excited about my mega dungeon, but I really want this game to be about you guys and what you guys want. So what are some things that you guys would like to do in this adventure? This is, of course, my world, my sandbox. We can do whatever we want here, but this game is to kind of facilitate you guys too. So.
Well, I'd like to go on an adventure and get some coin, man. That's what I'm after.
But it's all about the friends we make along the way.
Yeah, I think I feel the same way.
Yeah. I want to make some friends with some coins.
And then find out they're all mimics.
Oh, I have. Or do you use the carousing rules? Like, are they modified, or do we not use the carousing rules?
We're probably not going to use the carousing rules, because I would like to modify them, and I haven't had the time to do that. So we're not going to use the carousing rules. However, I do intend to use them in future games.
I would love. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
No, go ahead. Finish
Even if they were just completely, and not even actually, this just sounds even better in a way. If they were just completely improvised on a totally Mythic Isles version of like me blowing money. I want to spend money, so I want to get money and then I want to spend it. I want to do both of those things. Yeah.
All right. Well, as you guys are all talking about, maybe to yourselves even, about what kind of money you'd like to make, the innkeeper steps forward. The innkeeper is a fine man who is named Oaksley, and Oaksley is he likes to make money, but he also likes to trade, and he does other things to keep his money coming in. But Oaksley, he also likes to gossip, and he hears you guys talking about making money. He perks up, and he comes around the front counter, and he almost in a whispered voice, he says, "Oh, you want to make coin, do you? Well, I heard a rumor that there's some merchants just south of the Charred Forest. They say that they are, well, they're." And he kind of looks over his shoulder and makes sure no one else is listening. And there's literally no one else but you guys in here. And he looks over his shoulder, makes sure no one's listening. He says, "They are maybe ransacking the forges. But you didn't hear from me. Of course, merchants be up to whatever merchants may be up to. But that's what I heard. And Lord knows what kind of goodies they have out there. And they might be willing to trade a few things too. Say, that actually gives me an idea." And he goes back behind his counter, and he reaches under his counter and pulls out this little wooden box that has a small little locket on it, and he pulls it over to you guys. He goes, "Actually, this here has been a pet project of mine, and I was actually curious if you guys could see if I could get some coin for this." And he's going to hand it to Xander. And he hands it to Xander, and he says, "I'd like at least 20 coins for it, but I'm not going to diddle-daddle about it. Yeah, whatever you could get for me, I'd be well gracious and thankful for."
Is there supposed to be a picture that shows what it is?
Nope. It's just a little wooden box about this big. It's made of a cherry wood, and it has a little locket on the front of it.
Well, I do declare, Oaksley, I only have some caltrops to trade.
Well, yeah, this isn't a trade. What I would like you to do is do me the favor of delivering it for me to, or not delivering it, but like trading it with the merchants, and then you could get money for them, and then give me a portion of my money that I think this is worth out of it, and then you can keep some of the money too.
I see. Okay, yeah, I think we can do something about that. What do you guys think?
Absolutely. You give us things, and we give people for money, and you get some of it. Sure, that sounds like a plan.
Right here. Okay, well, very good. Like I said, I would prefer 20 coins, but if whatever you could get, I know these are trying times for some people, so.
See how much we can get for it. I'm sure we can.
Can I open the box?
You want to try to open the box? It has a lock on it. Did you want to try to pick the lock?
Not in front of him.
Okay. So you look at it, realize it's locked, and then kind of tuck it back away?
Yeah.
Okay. He goes and goes back behind the counter, and then he goes, "Oh, and one more thing." And he comes back to you, and he's holding a wooden coin. The wooden coin is engraved. It says Whaletail Inn. And he goes, "This would be one night stay for free on me if you do this favor for me."
Here, good sir.
I'm a halfling, so I kind of look like that cat in that meme that's just his head's just poking up over the table.
Right.
And I'm like, I've never met these people before, so I'm like, does this mean we're best friends now? Look up this giant half-orc and this goblin, and what is your ancestry, Thomas?
Elf.
Yep, we got a...
Okay.
It's a salad. It's a salad.
See, I need to ruin things now. I take 2 of my clubs and I pretend to drum on the table with them.
All right. We'll go ahead and make this the first check of the game. This will be a charisma check, and you have an advantage because you are musically talented.
It's part of our culture. This is fine. Food's flying up and hitting me in the face.
I imagine that as a goblin, I'm kind of on the opposite side, and I grin, and I've got like just extra wide teeth showing. Like it's kind of almost a horrible version of the halfling peering over the top of the table.
I'm just gonna do it that way. So 16.
So your charisma.
Wait, you
is-
froze up. I heard charisma.
Yeah, your charisma is less than that though,
Oh,
because
okay, yeah,
you have
so-
negative
-2, so yeah, 14.
14. Still pretty good. You're able to keep rhythm at least. You're a little upset though because the countertop buckles under the beat of your drums, and it doesn't have that oomph that you really desired out of it. However, the rhythmic drums do startle Oaksley at first. His hat almost falls off, and he almost drops some things that he was fiddling with. But he does look on with a pleasantry. He's like surprised and shocked, and also not like immediately mad at you for possibly ruining his countertops. But yeah, that's what happens there. All right. It is the night that pours me. It is pretty cloudy out today, but the weather is pretty fair. And what you can see amongst the people in town is pretty regular stuff. Like nothing out of the ordinary. Nobody's doing anything super crazy and stuff. But what are you guys gonna be doing next? What do we have to?
Well, I say we head over to them there merchants.
Let's go. I've got a bag of spiky things.
Great. So yeah, Oaksley did tell you guys that the merchants are out past the charred forest. So you guys will have to leave town to do so.
Is there like a blacksmith or armorer or somebody that sells weapons within sight? Did I see?
There are at the forges. You know for a fact that the forges
Oh.
outside of town have
Okay,
a bunch of
yeah.
this stuff.
I'll wait then until I get there.
Okay, so you guys are going there then?
That one gold is really burning a hole in his pocket.
Yeah. It's my literal last gold piece. Yeah.
From the like family inheritance that he was allowed. He's burned through all of it. So yeah. So is everyone going to go there? Are you guys gonna split the party, or are we all going to the forges?
Let's go.
I will follow small thing.
Okay. So you guys head over that way. First thing you notice is that the thick smog of smoke that kind of overwhelms the senses, makes your eyes water. But there's also this sweetness to it, almost like a hickory, but you can't quite put your finger on it. The sweet scent. You do hear the clanging of anvils and metal ringing as you approach. Eventually, you do find a couple men who are able to stop working long enough to converse with you. You find a Stan and a Rayleigh, who seem to be coming up like out of this trench that they have made, where they had this like large piece of metalworking over top of them, where they were kind of hammering out from underneath it. They both kind of crawl out of this trench, step forward with rags in their hands, wiping this forgy soot from their fingertips. And Rayleigh kind of steps up and he says, "Yes, how can we help you?"
Hello. My name is Hob, and I believe this is Snaggletooth, and that is Craw and Xander. And we heard that there were merchants here that had some business near the forges.
Merchants, the merchants are that way. And he points to this narrow path that leads into the charred woods. He goes, what are you planning on doing with the merchants anyway, though?
So he points that. Does it look like this? Is it just like a tree line of charred trees? And
Yeah, it looks like a woods, like an entire thick woods of charred trees.
oh, okay. Well, we heard that. I look back at his forges, and then I look back at him, and I say, "We heard that they're going to do a community development project that we were going to join, maybe."
Oh, well, that's good. They're going to finally repair the statue then?
Yeah.
Well, we've been asking the town to do it for years, but they won't ever seem to, like, give us the proper paperwork and stuff, bureaucrats.
Yeah,
But,
those bureaucrats, I wring my hands.
if you're into, doing good work, stuff like that, we could probably find some jobs for you guys to do.
I look at how sweaty and sooty he is and all the actual work he's doing, and I'm like, I think we have business with the merchants, but that's awfully kind of you.
We have business here, too, if you're into business. He looks over at Stan and goes, Stan, show him the goods! And Stan, hustles over. He pulls up this chest. He opens the chest, and he has these fine, polished silver daggers. And he has a couple of these war hammers they've been working on. And he goes, yeah, Stan doesn't like to gloat about it, but really I think he's got a proper craftsmanship here. And he kind of holds it out and presents it to you guys.
Look at everybody else. Who do they work for?
I'll kind of go walk over and kind of stroke his chin, looking at the weapons. Like, those are all right. As a you sell much to, I don't know, fighting men and such. You're looking to. I might have some contacts if you can, put in a good deal. We'll be back later, maybe to after I talk with some of my associates. But if you got a good deal, I'm willing to pass it on for a discount and get you lots of business.
He goes wide-eyed for a moment, and he goes over and he whispers something to Stan, and he comes back. He just kind of nods agreeably.
Maybe if I take a sample, just a dagger to show him your craftsmanship, I'll come back and I bet you I can get you all sorts of business.
Well, about that, you see him like root around in the box, and you just hear like this heavy clanking sound as he moves around these heavy objects. He pulls out one, and goes, "Now this is one of my own." And he shows you, like, it looks like a simple dagger, and it has this large indentation in the side of the blade, like a flaw where a flaw was like tried to be repaired and actually made it worse, and now it's got like a huge chip in it. And he goes, "Now I'm not as good as Stan, but I do think this shows promise." He says as he offers it to you. And goes, as a good faith offering here, so we could do those deals you mentioned.
I'm looking over, kind of squinting at it. It's like, I think we can take it under advisement, and I'll just start to put it, like, huh, and put it in a pocket or on his belt. It's like, I'll have to check. Like I say, I have to check with some of my associates, and we'll be back in touch for business. If you can, I'll put in a good word for you.
He goes over and he kind of shoulder checks his friend, and they kind of giggle under their breath.
Crappy dagger. Okay.
What time of day is it?
It's midday. Like, yeah, plenty of daylight to do whatever we'd like.
Well, boys, I said we're burning daylight. We ought to get over there to them there merchants.
All right.
All right. You guys start trudging through you walk over this field of soot that comes up to or once you reach the hill crest, you can actually see the horizon. Even though it's midday, the horizon here always stays this hue of orange. And you look around in the woods, and oddly enough, you notice that there are like no woodland creatures. There are no like birds flying. There are no fauna or flora to be seen anywhere. It's incredibly quiet, except for the subtle whooshing sound of hot vapors coming out of the ground itself every once in a while.
Real quick, Joe says hi, everybody.
Hi, Joe.
Hi, Joe.
Hi, Joe.
Hi, Joe. So you guys are trudging through the woods. Eventually, you do see the path that Rayleigh mentioned. The path leads down a winding road, and just at the edge of your sight, you can see what looks like a covered wagon. From here, you don't see any movement or any sights or sounds.
Okay.
I'll say I've been in crypts that have more liveliness than this place.
Wait, why were you in crypts?
It's a long story.
Okay.
I'm not scared.
Do I know any minstrel songs about elves rising from the dead?
Good question. I would call this a history check, so let's go ahead and roll wisdom. Or intelligence. That would be wisdom. Let's go wisdom.
Do I get advantage?
Sure. It's close enough. Did ask about songs, so I'll allow it.
That did not help at all.
You do not. However, feel free to make one up.
I start singing about how all elves are zombies. I'm just like, they rise from the dirt and eat halfling babies.
I don't think you're allowed to say that.
I say that is offensive on many levels, sir.
Oh. Awesome.
That really fits with my fingers.
About goblins, so hey, nice change.
The goblin's just relieved. He's just happy to be here.
We're talking about meat.
As you guys... Oh, sorry, go ahead.
It just occurred to me there are like a number of songs in our last game that are just about attacking goblins. That's the whole number of songs.
See a goblin throw a rock. See a goblin throw a rock. Yeah.
See a goblin throw a rock. Throw a rock.
Yeah. Anyway, you guys make your way down to this campsite. You can see there is a large fire pit. That is oddly one of the only places on this whole island that seem to be not on fire. You can see there is a covered wagon with multiple crates and barrels seem to be loaded up on it. You can see a small tent with a sleeping bag inside of it, but there seems to be nobody around.
Wait a second. So this wilderness is actively on fire?
I would like to think of it more like embers, like the name suggests, Emberfields. So it's like constantly burning, like hot coals, but not like actually flaming. But yeah, I imagine it's kind of like hot coals everywhere.
Like the origin of the game, floor is lava.
Yes, but not hot enough to actually singe through shoes. Although the cobbler in town does have quite a business there. It's just smoldering. It's just like a little bit of heat everywhere.
Okay, I go squat next to the tent and just squat, but without looking in. I'm like, I kind of tap outside the outside of it. Hello there. Hello. Hello.
You hear no response.
Uh-oh. I look inside.
You look inside. There are a few discarded clothes, but there's no person.
Ooh. You know, everybody, I turn around. Doesn't seem like there's anyone here. It seems like we ought to check this cart just to make sure there's no dishonest people who've come by here and looked through the cart.
I say you're on the level there, my man.
I mean, it would be wrong for us not to take these goods in this cart for our own safekeeping to make sure whoever left them here doesn't lose them. They'll be much better with us, I'm sure.
That would
Plus
just
in
be
this cart.
irresponsible.
Yeah. The only thing we're responsible to do is check it for useful, valuable items.
Are you all okay if we look through the cart?
I would also like to look through the cart.
Through the cart.
All right.
Xander kind of looks down his nose at this and kind of walks away from them and is going to search the ground for any tracks.
Oh, that's a better idea.
Okay. So, the three of you are searching the cart. Meanwhile, Xander, I would like you to roll an intelligence check.
Yay, I'm good at intelligence. Let's see. 12.
12 plus 2?
No, 10 plus 2.
Gotcha. Okay. With a 12, you would actually see a few things. First of all, there are no tracks except for the cart tracks that have came here. You would also notice at this point that there are no hoof prints from any animal to be towing this here, which would indicate that this cart has been here for some time, or maybe has been here located here by some magical means. You do find that to be odd. But you do actually see what looks like some trail of some dried liquid. It's hard to tell what it is because the heat of the area has made it lose all color or scent. It's just this liquid that you can faintly see on the ground. And you can see it travels the eastward. You do find that. Meanwhile, the other three, let's go ahead and have each of you give me a wisdom check as you're rooting through the goods here.
And nat 1. I believe with my nat 1, I have a 0.
Nice. Fantastic.
Don't put yourself down like that, Ross. It's a nat 0.
All right. Snaggletooth. What you find in all of the boxes are lots of textiles. These large sheets of fabric, and you're not really quite certain of what they belong to or what they're used for, but as you start to pull them out, they become unfurled and literally it's kind of like one of those cases where you can't close your suitcase because you don't remember how all the stuff fits, and the more you start to pull out, the more the textiles kind of start to fill the area, and you find yourself lost in textiles. Crawl, you start rooting through stuff, and you find baubles, these little glass baubles that are about the size of what you imagine a softball. You kind of shake it, nothing happens. They're just glass baubles. You have no idea what their use is or what they'd be used for. And Hob, you find an actual entire cask of some really fine wine, and you drop it, and it shatters on the ground outside the cart.
I'm sad and covered in broken
Down
glass.
after the broken glass, it's like there's already glass. Smash.
You smash
Anything in there?
All right, you smash a bauble. Go ahead and give me a charisma save.
I also
God.
I turn towards Snaggletooth, who we've walked together, and I look at her and I say, "Please don't sing the song about this."
Ooh, charisma save.
There once
That's
was a
negative
halfling
3.
who made quite a mess.
Okay, that's a 0. Okay.
Nice.
I
It
rolled a
happened
3.
while I got stuck in a dress.
Everybody notices as Crawl throws the bauble onto the ground, it shatters. You hear thunder in the background. Over the horizon, you hear this terrible thunder, and it booms so loud you feel it in your chest, and it shakes the ground a moment. However, nothing else happens.
Sure, it's fine.
I walk away from the cart.
What are you all doing in there?
Wait, are those baubles that every time they shatter, someone dies? Oh wait, no, they're not.
Sure, that's fine.
I
No.
quickly walk away from the cart, and all this.
Yeah, everybody like gets away quickly, and I'm just standing there like covered in broken glass
Like-
and
like
covered in wine.
The covered cart that's like filled with these unfurled textiles and broken glass surrounds it now.
It just looks like a bag of popcorn just exploded with clothes, and then I'm just like soaked. I smell like alcohol. Nothing, Xander.
Xander.
It did a thing.
Xander, at the
If
site,
anybody asks, we found it like this.
you're able to put two and two together and realize that the liquid you have seen must have been this alcohol that Hob is now covered in.
Fellas, there's a trail of alcohol that's going down into these here woods. Would y'all want to maybe follow this trail and see where it leads to?
Does the trail look like it's going into a blazing inferno of embers in the middle of a ember blazing fire forest, or is it?
No, like the forest itself seems to be the most calm out of all the areas around you because it's already been burned. Like
Yeah.
it's just these tall charred trees that are completely black, and there's just this thick ash that lays across the floor bed. So like there's no active fires there. No.
Okay. I sigh and I'm like, well, all this wine is ruined. I guess we might as well.
Okay. At that case, Thomas, give me a die, and then we'll call it any die you want as a D2. Odds will be 1 and evens will be 2.
Okay, I'm rolling a d6.
Okay.
1.
All right. You guys follow the trail, and it leads you up to this larger oak tree. This wider tree that has these roots to kind of separate further up a little bit higher up off the ground. Kind of more like a cypress tree does. Those trees common in the bayou that grow up over the water. It's like that, but you are familiar enough with common trees to know this is actually an oak tree, and it looks to be partially uprooted. As you guys kind of approach and get closer to it, you notice that there's this large split in the wood, and there's like a large hollowed area of it.
And this is where the wine trail leads.
Correct.
Who wants to go first?
Sorry, I got mentally sidetracked. I heard wine trail, and who wants to go first?
Xander kind of looks around and says, "Hey, Craw, why don't you stick your head in there and see what's up?"
Sure.
Okay. I love it.
So I'll sniff around in there, I guess. I was like, I don't know.
All right.
Looking around.
As you approach the hole, you don't notice anything peculiar. You stick your head in. First thing you notice is it's much cooler in the hole. It looks to be some type of like a burrow, like it looks like a tunnel that goes deep into the ground. It goes as far as your eyes can see downward.
It goes for a ways. Anybody like hobbits? Y'all like holes? Y'all holes in the ground? Is that a thing? But
Yeah, not dirty, nasty holes that have worms but nice holes that
right.
cozy.
I would like to give the small one a nudge because he's already covered in wine, so it's not really a dirty hole since it's just filled with more of what he's covered in.
A hole is a hole is a hole, good sir.
Well,
And there's the bard.
I say not. Yeah, we break out in song.
This
This is a musical. A hole is a hole. It's a musical.
Keep digging them holes.
Dig it on bum bum.
Dude, we need a light. None of us can see in the dark. We're gonna have to figure out how to see down there.
Still, here we make torches out of anything? I don't know. We got all that canvas back at the
Wait,
wagon. Get some sticks, wrap them and dip them in some booze and make some torches. I don't know.
well, but do we need a light? Are there not like parts of the tunnel maybe deeper in that are smoldering embers?
Mm,
Good point.
But I would feel better having torches just in case if we go deep enough. You never know. It might start off light and then we get trapped in there.
That's also a good point.
I look from one of my clubs to the rope one of you is carrying to the small one covered in alcohol, and
Does this, Jake, is this something where trying to improvise an item like that would take a long time and it's questionable whether or not we could do it, or is that something that seems like it's within our means given like nearby branches and clothes and wine? Is this something you think would be something we could do?
I absolutely think it's something that would be manageable. It would take time, but however, you guys are at midday. We have plenty of time to scrounge that up. And then I would say it is a check to see how many or how resourceful you guys are. But it is manageable. Yes, you can also decide to backtrack back to town, trade your caltrops for torches or something else or other wares. Is also an option. But yeah, if you guys want to be resourceful, it'd just be a check for how much you guys can get, and then I'll roll see if something happens in the meantime.
How far away is the town?
I'd say it's a few hours walk.
Oh,
If you were on
it's
like
pretty
if you were on horseback, it'd be within an hour or so.
well,
were any of the textiles I touched something that is probably flammable?
Yeah, I mean, I don't think Xander got a good look at it, but yeah, I think you would definitely know that it doesn't seem unflammable for sure.
Well, while they're talking about all this, can I just go like start wrapping one of my clubs in one of the flammable textiles?
Sure, I will say, however, after you have burned said club, it would become no longer a club. It would be a used torch and have no longer value to you.
I have spares.
Okay, just sure that you're aware of that.
she was made for this moment.
In this moment.
All right.
And then we do another song. Yes.
So who is all going to take this time to try to be resourceful?
Can we all do it?
Yeah, if you'd like to. If everyone's going to do that, it's just a matter of time.
Sweet.
All right.
Was my thing being resourceful or?
We're going to go ahead and take. We'll use Snaggletooth Wisdom for this roll, and we'll just make one roll. So go ahead and Snaggletooth will give me a Wisdom check, and we'll see how well we do here.
16.
Nice. That'll give you. You guys get 10 torches between
Holy
all the
cow.
branches and spare wood that you guys have, a club, plenty of textiles to go around, booze to make the wick, and flint and steel. You guys can divvy those up however you'd like. A bundle of 6 counts as 1 inventory slot, so if you have more than that, you take more inventory slots.
Guys, I'll be right back. I'm going to put my dog to bed. I'll be right back.
I will hold on to 5 torches.
Okay.
Yeah.
Slot.
I'll do 3.
Okay. And we got 2 left, so 1 each there.
Take one then.
I have a question. So at level 0, we do get our ancestry features, right?
Correct.
All right. So just so
And
you
I'm
guys, all right, just so you guys know, I can become invisible for 3 rounds, not turns.
Whoa.
But rounds. I think once per day.
Be surprised. So, keen senses. That might be handy.
That is huge for an encounter.
Yeah.
And Thomas, you got one of the torches.
I got 1 torch. Okay. 1 torch.
All right, you guys now have torches. It's mid-afternoon. What are we doing?
Let's go in the hole. Let's go in the hole.
All right. So what's the tunneling order here? I was gonna say marching order because I actually hit the hands and knees to kind of crawl into the hole. So who's going in first?
It makes the goblin. The goblin needs to. Everybody,
It seems
it's all
right,
pointing at the
yeah.
goblin.
Yeah,
I'll be in the middle because I
definitely.
can reach both ends over the short
Yeah.
people.
I mean, I can't be surprised. So if I'm going to be the first one in there to have the guy who's the first to notice problems, makes sense.
Great. All right, so you get in. Like I said, the first thing you notice is it's much cooler. As you start to go down, you smell the common smell of soil, like upturned soil, and the thick branches of the tree kind of tuck under them. You trip over one moment as you get deeper in, and eventually you make your way a bit further. Give me a dexterity saving throw.
All of us?
Everybody.
It just Crawl, who's
Oh.
first. Fantastic. As you keep crawling along, all of a sudden some soil gives way and you almost fall, but you're able to kind of cling onto the sides of the small tunnel and not fall. It's only about a 10-foot drop from what gave way from what you can see around you. Is your torch lit? Did you light your torch yet?
Well, I guess we didn't really. I guess can we see it all? Because if we couldn't, then I'd light the torch. But
So what you
I
can
didn't.
see, what you can see
Yeah.
from where you are is from behind you. There's faint orange light coming over your shoulders, so you can see all the soil around you. You can see there are webs of tree roots above your head that kind of go down both sides and even come up around your feet. And in front of you, there's a hole now from where the soil gave way. You can see there's about a 10-foot drop to what looks like some type of stony structure, but that's really all you can see.
Point is, we still have enough light from behind us. I probably would not have lit the torch yet. But at this point, if there's a hole and I can't see much further, I think once we go deep enough that it's starting to get too dark to see, at that point, I guess I would light the torch
Okay.
and rely on my keen senses that nothing jumps out at me.
All right. As you light the torch, what you see in front of you is a small hole where you can see there are lots of these scratch marks and like harsh gouges in the bed of like in the heart of this tree itself. Where you are clever enough to know this is probably like where someone would stash a bunch of stuff. But there's nothing here, and you actually see there's this soil that gave way right at your feet. You actually see there's a much larger hole just to your right, and you would assume that whoever was loading stuff in here probably fell through there. But from what with your torchlight now, what you can see is the soil fell down onto what looks like some type of paved stone, some 10 feet below you.
Somebody build something before there was a tree here or something. Maybe there. Just heads up. We got some sort of stone down here. This place ain't natural. So is there? You said there was another hole where somebody fell in, and there's no like other access point from here. Is there? Like somebody.
No, like from where you are now, you'd have to kind of clear the hole in front of you to make it onto the tree surface, and then you can get to the opposite hole.
Okay. Well, so down this, I was like, well, watch your step. There's a little bit of a drop there, but so there's nothing down here, but there might be in the next hole if I get.
Here, let me try. I'll just draw for a minute. So we'll come over here to this side of the map, and I will just give you a little drawing. So this will be like a profile view of your exploration. Okay, so we have the surface here. Okay, and a tree goes up like this. All right, there's a tree. You guys went in the tree and you came down here. You followed this hole down like this, and there's this area on the tree roots down here where it looks like someone would stash a lot of goods. Directly in front of you, about here, is a large hole that you have just made, and right across the tree roots, there's a larger hole on this side where someone else you would assume has fallen through. So to go further, you would have to clear the small hole in front of you to make it onto the safer tree root area to even see what's on the opposite side. Because you only have like a foot or so of headspace, you don't have the angle to see over. what would be over there. However, down here, about 10 feet below you, you can see there is some type of stony structure where you can see soil is now kind of covering it partially.
Any of you guys have a rope?
I have a rope.
Toss me down something. It looks like there's a hole. I don't want to fall down here, but if you can hold on the other end, I'll wrap some tie it around my waist, and
I'll be down just a second. I crawl in after him.
Okay. So you guys are plopping down the first hole then?
Yeah,
I
guess.
Let's do it.
Yeah, just kind of rappelling down. Hope they can. They hold me on. I'm a goblin. I don't weigh that much. Kind of climbing down and getting a look. I got my torch. Kind of.
First thing you notice as you kind of come down with the flames of the torchlight flickering is you are surrounded by doorways. Each of these doorways has a wooden door on it. There is one to your east, one to the west, and two heading south. The northern wall is mostly just looks like a harshly carved stone that has all these tree roots coming down on top of it. Directly overhead, there are tons of tree roots that kind of come down, like tickle your head, like fine little tiny tree roots that come down. So each of these doors also have their own kind of unique quality. So the eastern door has a bunch of split firewood propped up against the bottom of it. Next, the first southern door has chalk drawings on it. There look to be some type of serpentine drawings on it, like some type of snake or something partially drawn on it. The next door, you notice that it has a small little knocking ring on it, and on the knocking ring, you can see there are tied 3 of these little bells, like little tiny silver bells that are tied to it. And then lastly, there is one more door to the west. And it looks to be like there's no actual defining feature, which is its defining feature, because like this is the only normal looking door.
We can't hear you.
Oh yeah, Lane, you're muted.
Yeah, sorry. No footprints or tracks or anything showing where somebody else may have gone recently, is there?
So you look around for tracks. You move some of the dirt that has fallen in. If there were any tracks here, they're unrecognizable from the dirt that you guys have tracked in yourselves.
Just make sure there wasn't any dirt leading up in any ways. That'd be too easy. All right.
Is there any sign of any wine down there?
Yeah, like does the trail continue? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cog, go ahead and give me an intelligence check.
Who?
Rah!
14.
You look around, you don't see any, but you take a deep breath and you're certain you can smell some nearby.
I vote.
Well, out here somewhere.
We investigate all the doors, but if we have a nondescript door, we can open it just to see what's on the other side, and then we don't have to necessarily go through. But I'm all for like straight up setting the firewood on. Okay, you said split firewood, so you mean like they've gathered log chunks and they've split them in half so that they can be used. So
as firewood, and then they
firewood.
were also propped up against the door.
Yeah, so I almost think. Well, actually, so let me look at the firewood. I go up to look at the firewood that's propped against the door. Is it propped in such a way that it leans on the door to force the door closed? Or is it scattered down at the bottom of the door like a pit? Or is it stacked neatly? So I'm trying to figure out, my goal is to figure out the purpose of the firewood.
Right, so as you're looking at it, it looks like a hastily made barricade, or like
Barricade. Okay.
the faintest little barricade. This was like only delay somebody seconds.
Yeah.
But it looks like some type of barricade. Easily you could kick it aside, but from the opposite side of the door, it looks like it would delay you a few seconds to try to get it out. You don't know like why they chose firewood, and it was probably a pretty poor choice, but you would think it was made in a hastily decision.
Okay. So there's something on the other side, or was at the time. So I'm thinking like not that door, and then the chalk is something that somebody's signaling something. Does it look like somebody drew a snake, or does it look like the symbol of the snake? Like that
It definitely looks like someone drew it.
Yeah.
Somebody who's not an artist.
So like these other two doors here, someone either used or signaled that there was a danger there. So I think like we ought to open the door, and then like now I'm really curious about whatever fairy creature has the 3 little bells.
Yeah,
Just for reference, are we all down in the hole now?
From what I understand, Hob and Crawl are down, and Snaggletooth and Xander are still alive.
Okay, but they used my rope to climb down, right?
Yeah, you have 2 ropes of 60 feet each, so that's absolutely plenty for a 10-foot drop. But yeah, if you are also planning on going down, it might be a good idea to tie it off before you jump down.
Yeah, I do that. I tie it off.
Yeah. Good call. All right.
I will
And
also
I use a sailor's knot to make sure that it's a really secure tie too.
Nice.
So it's not going to fall.
Those bells seem like another warning. So we got one, somebody trying to keep something out.
Right.
One warning snake. Another one, alarm. If somebody goes that way, they'll know. Seems like all those could be problematic if something doesn't want us down here.
Right. So actually, maybe that tells us that the other the 3 doors are good because they were placed here to warn someone or keep something from moving from the other side. And then they moved through this one door. So maybe we ought to like go through the door with the bells because somebody put the bells on there to try to warn that something was coming through it.
Hopefully they're friendly and not gonna consider us the thing they're worried about.
Alternately, if they're friendly, we should just go talk to them. What do
Good
you all
point.
think?
I say that's a grand idea.
I put my ear up and listen. Can we hear anything on the other side of that door?
Which door?
Let's listen at the one with the bells. Being careful, try not to ring them, but we'll just listen on that door. I doubt I'll hear anything, but it's worth a shot.
As you listen, you don't hear anything but a very, very faint, almost like I want to call it like an echo, but not really an echo, just like the sound of air reverberating off of hollow walls almost. You kind of get the sense of like depth as you kind of hold your ear up against it.
Maybe? I'm not sure, but... So we still want to go through this one, or...
Yeah, I'm down.
Let's do it.
All right.
Try and like grab the bells so that they jangle as little as possible.
Okay,
Crack
go ahead
the
and give
door.
me a dexterity check.
Oh,
As you are clinging onto them, you notice that the strings that held them in place were actually dry rotted, and you now hold them in your hands freely. You have now 3 little silver bells. As you clean them, you try the door. The door is unlocked and swings open freely. In front of you is a roughly 24 feet long corridor. Immediately to the right of you, along the right wall, there is another door. And about 6 or 7 feet in front of you, there is also a pit.
Wait a second. I'm going to ask you to
Okay.
Let me try to... after all this. Okay, give me a second here. So, you said it's 24 feet long?
Roughly, yeah.
24. And immediately upon entering, there's a door to the right?
Yep.
All right, and then what else?
About 5 feet down the corridor, there's a large pit. The pit is the width of the corridor itself and stretches about 12 feet forward.
Okay. What do we see at the end of... I guess our torchlight doesn't go any further than 30 feet, so we don't see what's at the end of the corridor?
Correct.
Okay.
Unless you were to step through the corridor.
Gonna go peek over the edge of that pit, I guess. Kind of.
Okay.
Check it.
You bring the torchlight with you as you step through the corridor, step through the threshold into the corridor. First thing you notice is this faint, acrid smell in the air, and that distant echoey sound gets a little bit louder, and you can hear what sounds like very, very, very distant running water. But as you peer over the side, you notice it's about a dozen or so feet drop into this pit. We can see there are these large rusted spikes, and you can see there are a few human bones at the bottom of the pit.
Somebody didn't make a jump or something. Must have been a while. Okay. And you say it's about 12 feet across to the other side of the pit?
Yep. But once you reach the edge of the pit, you do also realize that the end of the corridor, from what you can see, ends in an archway, which leads into another antechamber.
How big is the chamber that we were in the where the roots were?
Roughly 20 by 20.
Okay. And then how far is the door, the other south door is to the, is it to the east of this south door? Or to
Yes,
the west?
correct.
Okay, it's to the east.
It's to the east.
Okay,
Yeah.
great. And that is the nondescript door. No, I'm sorry, that's the snake chalk one.
Correct.
And then to the west is the nondescript door, and then to the east is the one with the split firewood on it.
Correct.
Okay. Okay. I'm caught up.
Alright, Snaggletooth, what are you doing?
Sorry, I just keep ending up in my own head, so I'm like missing half of everything everyone's saying, and I feel like shit for it. My bad.
We've just
You're
been asking for bunches of details on like the dungeon, so that's all we've been talking about.
I'm just gonna keep following the small one that smells like a drunk because that's been working out for me so far.
Okay.
Got me, table band and textiles, so I'm on a roll with that guy.
I look nervously behind me to the large woman with the clubs in the bag.
I just hold them up like drumsticks, like, yeah!
Ha And
Alright, I'm also eating right now, so I'm gonna eat a little bit while you guys are playing.
Yeah, I
Nah,
mean,
you're good.
it sounds like we could investigate this door immediately to the right.
Okay. So who's gonna be doing that?
It's always the goblin.
Yeah. I'll listen. I'll put my big old goblin ears against that door and listen.
You don't notice anything as you listen.
It's a
There's
door,
no
yeah.
sound. No, it's a door.
Okay. I will look for, check. Nothing conspicuous about the hinges or the handle or anything, I assume. And then, if so, I will crack it open and peek through.
Yeah, you actually notice that there are a few things about this door that seem very poor. The wood seems to be almost like dry rotted, like you noticed in the strings. The construction of it is actually pretty flimsy. In fact, if you tried really hard, you could probably knock it down. But the door does open freely. As it does, you notice a small chamber, roughly 30 feet in either dimension, and there is a circular stone plinth, which makes up what you would imagine is like a fountain, or was a fountain at one point, but now just sits filled with this white, milky liquid. So this chamber also this chamber also has a door which leads to the north and a door which leads to the south.
Okay. Is there any smell that comes from the white? I guess I'll go ahead and enter. If I don't see anything that looks dangerous off the top, immediately. And is there any scent to the liquid?
It smells like curdled milk.
I was right. Okay. Got us a sour milk fountain. Gross.
So this room does not have an adjoining corridor. It goes immediately into the room after the door, right?
Correct.
Okay. And you said the room is 30 feet by 30 feet?
Yes.
Where is the entrance door that we came in relation to the room? Is it on the east side in the dead center of the room?
So how about you just go ahead and draw me a map on Roll20 and I'll try to point it out.
I could do that if you want.
Yeah.
So far, kind of running out of. Need use because this is like a chalkboard. That's fun. So here's what I have so far. I've got a 30 foot by 30 foot antechamber. Oh, it ends. So, well, I can't depict anything past that. It's got an east door. It's got a west door. And then there's 2 south doors in this 30 foot chamber. And we went in here, and this immediately has a thing to the left with a pit. It goes across about 12 feet. And we went in this door. So as soon as we enter in here, if this door is on the northeast corner of the room, then it makes sense it'd be like this. But if it's on the east corner of the room, then it will adjoin to the north.
Oh, correct. Yeah, your first intuition was correct.
Okay,
yeah,
so the entrance to the room is on the northeast side of the room.
Correct.
I can't figure out how to erase it. Well, I'll just erase the whole thing. I don't need it. Okay, so cool. So let's see, 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. And you said on the north wall is a door?
Yep.
North wall is a door.
On the north and the south.
And on the south. 25, 30. Okay.
I do have a pole. I just remembered. I might regret this, but I kind of want to poke around in that pool and see if there's anything in the milk grossness.
All right. Is that what you do?
Yep. I've got my, I guess I assume it's like the equivalent of a 10-foot pole, even if it's not 10 feet. So I will poke into that. I'm not touching it myself, and I got a pole just for this sort of thing.
All right. As you do, I need to know where is Xander and where is Snaggletooth?
Yeah.
Oh dear.
Xander hasn't entered the room yet. He's letting everybody else feel it out before he goes in there.
Okay, are you still in the first chamber or are you in the corridor?
I'm in the corridor.
Okay. And Snaggletooth, where are you?
Well, unfortunately, because of my own hubris, I believe I'm probably next to the small one that smells like alcohol, Hob.
Right. So where's Hob?
I enter. I also need you to re-describe it. I'm sorry, I was kind of behind because I was trying to figure out where the...
Oh, you're fine. So roughly 30-foot room. There's a door at the north and the south. Both those doors, I will mention, are on the western edge of those walls.
Oh, okay.
And then roughly in the center of the room is a 8 foot by 8 foot plinth, which makes up this like circular, what would look like a fountain, made of bricks. And in the fountain is this liquid, this white murky liquid that Crawl is now poking with a prod.
Hey, what you poking there? What you poking there? Ooh, it smells.
Yeah, I mean, if there's anything in this milk stuff, I don't know.
So you poke through it. Initially, you hear what sounds like very loud flatulence, and it gurgles like such, and the smell of rotten milk does come out. But you're certain, as you poke your rod through there, you do sense that there's some resistance, like there's something at the bottom of it. You can't really tell just by poking it what it is at the bottom, but you're certain there's something in there.
So what would you say the sound sounds like? What would it? Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
So,
Lactose intolerant.
It's oh no, it's a milk slime. It's the worst. No, a milk ooze. No, it's the worst nightmare ever.
I don't know if
Get
he's
it.
kidding or not.
Get away from the milk ooze. Throw something at
okay.
it and see if it comes toward us. Oh no.
Yeah, once it makes a sound and starts making fart noises, I'm like pulling my pole out and like, and back
All right.
away.
you back up hastily. Hob, did you throw something at it?
Yes, I pick up a rock and I throw it, and hopefully don't hit the goblin. Or
All right, you
hopefully
missed
I
the
do,
goblin.
right?
It
You know,
hits.
it's however you feel.
It hits the murk. It hits the murky substance, and some of it trickles out. As it lands on the ground around it, you watch as it sizzles and burns away, almost like boiling water.
Oh, he saw a goblin and threw a rock.
I'm so glad that I have achieved achievement unlocked. Note taken: sour milk fountain farts.
Xander, what are you up to?
I'm just standing in the doorway watching them mess with this fountain and curious what's behind door number 1 and door number 2 on the north and south side of them.
Does it not advance after I throw something at it?
No, it does not. Like I said, it splashes on the ground, but you notice that once it splashes on the ground, the bits that splash out boil away as if like water in a hot pan.
Whoa.
I'd say you better
Oh,
not touch that substance
Yep.
there, boys and girls.
Okay. Gosh.
Did it leave any kind of marks on the ground where it boiled away?
Yeah, like a white residue.
Is there any
Wow.
like signs of damage around the residue? Like is it
How are
reacting to the stone, or is it like burning it?
are you gonna like try to like get down and mess with it some?
I think I am.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Go ahead and give me a wisdom check.
Dirty 20.
You're certain it's not reacting with the ground. You think it actually has something to do with the container that's holding it, and like this substance has a hard time existing outside of the container.
Okay,
You
so
look at it, and it kind of looks like a hard water residue, like a calcium buildup. It looks familiar to you in that way.
okay. I attempt to explain that as plainly as possible for the less int modifier of our friends here.
Hole still okay? Did it just kind of fizz off that same way, or?
Yeah, you actually notice that it sits on the pole longer, like it like clings to the pole like honey on a honey stick. But as you kind of watch it, once it drips onto the ground, it kind of sizzles away. Slowly, as it starts to dry, it leaves the same white residue on it. In fact, I think, Carl, since you were the first one, you kind of had the best look at the chalk drawings, you actually think that this might be what they used to draw the chalk symbols on the door.
This is where they got the stuff to draw that, like that snake drawing and stuff. Huh?
Yes.
The sour milk is?
Yeah.
Does it look the same as the drawings?
Looks pretty close, yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
Does anybody have a container? Probably not.
Nope.
Nope.
I have a grappling hook.
Now we broke our bottle of wine that we, yeah.
Yeah, that's true. Maybe we'll find something later. I don't think we can do anything with this right now. We don't have containers. We can't do anything.
Yeah.
Head for the other door.
What's the plinth made of? Stone?
It looks like stone, yeah, stone bricks.
Okay. And then the fountain is made of metal?
No, the fountain itself is made of these stone bricks.
Okay,
Like there's
so
no
it's
actual stone, like there's no fountain structure in the center of the plinth.
Okay.
It's just this ring of bricks that kind of hold this liquid.
Oh, okay. Gotcha. Yeah. All right. I dip this finger into it. Oh, wait. This one. But only
Okay.
that far.
All right, give me a Constitution save.
That was a bad idea.
Yes, it was.
I'm on a roll tonight.
Oh,
So-
dude.
What
Oh,
happens?
no.
What happens is you guys watch Hob lean over, sticks his finger in it. You hear a sound, and you see Hob. His face turns ghostly white, and you all smell this terrible stench that kind of comes out of it. And Hob falls over unconscious onto the ground.
I check for a pulse.
Halfling
he-
down, halfling down.
You check for pulse. He does indeed have a pulse for sure.
Is it like well, I don't even know if I would know this, but is it like a normal halfling pulse, or like, do I know there's anything weird about his pulse, or?
I mean, it just seems like he's unconscious. I don't know if you're a doctor or and know any more information about
I'm
that.
definitely not a doctor. I think we all know that. I mean, does anyone want to slap him? I feel like I'd kill him if I slapped him.
How about we just wait and see if he comes around?
Yeah, let's drag him away from the milk pool at least, just in
I will
case.
carry the alcoholic halfling.
Okay, you guys pull the unconscious halfling away from the fountain.
Mhm.
Yes.
So you guys do now?
So I'll shake his hand. That finger's still there. It didn't like eat away.
Yeah, his finger
or
is still there. It looks to be caked in this white substance,
Okay.
like a thick chalk, almost.
Gotcha. Well, halfling down, halfling down.
I'm just
You
gonna
slap him
carry
around,
him
try and
around.
wake him up, but or north or south, right?
Well,
see what
I
works
think you guys must be expecting this, but I say we go south.
Leaning that way as well.
As you try the southern door, you actually realize it's locked. You go to pull on it, and you are certain there's some type of pin lock or some type of bar blocking the entry from this direction.
What's the door made out of?
It looks to me made out of these oaken planks and banded with these iron bandings that kind of go across it horizontally.
This must seem more sturdy than the other one, which seemed kind of dry rotted.
Yep.
Hey,
I try-
Snaggletooth, let's try and tear down these doors with some clubs. What do you think?
Fuck it. I was gonna say okay, hold up. Before that, let's just, in case everybody here is really stupid, let's find out here. So when I pull it, it's not opening, right?
Correct.
I try to push it open.
It does not open. You get like
Okay.
a 1 inch of leeway, and then it's a hard resistance.
That's a lot of leeway. between pulling and pushing, which seems like it has more give?
Pulling by far.
All right, yeah, I'm gonna like yank the shit out of this thing and try to break it open.
Okay, go ahead and give me a strength check.
Ooh.
You pull and pull with all your might, and nothing seems to happen. However, as you pull and struggle for a moment, Xander, you do realize from the edge of the corridor, you actually hear what sounds like footfall coming from the archway at the end of the corridor.
Say, who goes there? Show yourself.
You call out to them. Okay. Oh no. All right.
Okay, I'm back. Did we go in any rooms?
No.
I called out into the dark and something bad's about to happen.
Uh-oh.
And I failed to break a door.
I have a question, I think this is a lot of fun for me personally. If I'm unconscious and I was mapping, is it like basic where I'm no longer allowed to map?
Correct.
Okay.
Yeah, because you'd be unconscious.
Nice. Love it.
So you call out. What was it that you said? You said who goes there?
Who goes there and show yourself.
You hear what sounds like chittering birds, and then the footfall gets heavier, and then you hear it hurried, and gets louder. Then you hear what sounds like a large squawking sound, like a sound, come from the edge of the corridor.
I go into the room and shut the door behind me.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. You do so. The squawking sound continues. You then hear what sounds like the heavy beating of wings, like a sound. And then all of a sudden you see the silhouette under the door. So you have your torchlight in here, but now there's torchlight on the outside. And you can see there are shadows lurking just on those side of the door. Go ahead and give me a charisma save, Xander.
Okay,
Oh, thank
hold
God.
on.
Whatever's on the other
Okay.
side also has a torch, it seems, from what.
Yes.
I rolled an 18, no modifier.
Okay. With an 18, you wait for a moment. You hear the sound of a door swing open, and then you hear the footfall kind of continue. And then you hear more chittering sounds. And then you hear another. And then you hear the sound kind of continues, and the torchlight fades.
Whew. I think that was a close one, fellas.
At that point, you guys can see the door on the north side swings open, and three of these humanoid-shaped birds step forward. They have faces which resemble that of a buzzard. They each have these really long necks that kind of hunch forward. They have these hunched backs. They have large, barren feet that resemble the talons of a bird. Their forearms are covered in these long black feathers. Each of them hold a rusty spear in their hand, and two of them are wearing these simple iron helmets, like these little buckler helmets that have these little spikes on top. And one of them is holding a torch in a hand, and he has a hook for a hand on the other side. And they all kind of like stumble into the room. And the one with the torch, like, holds the torch out in front of himself and squawks out loud, like,
Y'all don't speak the goblin or common, do ya?
go ahead and give me a charisma save.
Yeah, I'm the worst one to do that. But that's.
No. Oh wait, yeah, you are the worst one. I was like, I'm the worst, but no, yeah.
I've got a 4 charisma, so 11 is pretty good for me.
You ask, and there is a questionable look that comes over their face. They are confused more than anything. They turn to each other, squawk loudly before one of them is going to step forward and try to attack. At this point, we're going to roll for initiative. So the way this game goes is we each roll a d20, and the highest roll goes first, and we go around the table. Since technically we're not in the table, I will say the order is, from my perspective, it's me, Lane, Ross, Sean, Thomas, back to me. So that would be the order, but let's all just go ahead and roll a d20. I'd say neither party is surprised in this circumstance. Technically, you guys would, but since you have a goblin with you, would be fine in this circumstance.
So is it one roll for all of us? Or
No, it's one roll each for who gets the first turn.
12.
15.
All right.
7.
All right. Kaw, you are the first to act as you see these bird creatures about to lunge forward at your friends.
It's like, we didn't want no trouble! And I guess I'll throw that crappy dagger at one of them.
Okay. Go ahead and roll the attack.
That's attacking, yeah. And see, since I'm throwing it, do I get to add my, well, I guess, strength or dexterity modifier?
Thrown weapons you can choose, yes.
Yeah, it's a +1 to either way, I think. So I got 12 and a 13. Those are both +1, so.
Okay.
16?
16 will hit. It'd be a d4 for damage with the dagger.
Do I get to add my strength since I threw it?
Sure.
4 points of damage.
4 damage. He squawks in pain, and you see the one next to him is shocked and stunned by such a sight. He is going to, you know what? I have to do it. We have to see what happens.
Huh.
Okay. He's shocked and stunned. He kind of takes a half step back and looks at you wide-eyed, and he says something in bird speak. The next to act would be Hob, who was unconscious. Hob, go ahead and give me a Constitution saving throw. You stay unconscious.
Oh my god.
Snaggletooth.
I'm sorry, was that a Constitution saving throw for me too, or something else?
Oh no, it's your turn to act. What would you like to do?
Okay, cool. I mean, I'm assuming I'm holding the halfling in like one hand, so can I just use a club with my free hand to take a swing at these things?
Sure, go for it.
All right.
If all else fails, do club them to death with a halfling, because that would.
Does a 10 hit?
If we get to that, it would be worth it.
So a 10 would hit, but the creature parries it with the rusty spear. You do notice that the spear is weak enough that your club actually smashes his spear in half. His eyes go wide at the sight again. That leads us to Xander.
I'm gonna roll to hit with my club.
Okay.
Does a 13 hit?
A 13 will hit.
Okay, what do I roll for the club?
D4.
2.
All right.
I attack. I'm sorry, I attacked the one that's already been attacked.
I assume so. You bash him on the back of the head. He falls down. His simple iron helmet tumbles across the floor. At that point, see, these guys are great. I love them. At that point, the one that his spear broke from Snaggletooth turns and starts to run. The one with the torch goes, and he like calls him back. He turns back around, and with the blunt of his stick, he's going to try to whack Call with it. So it'll +1 to this. We'll just go ahead and roll it. Don't care about that. So a 9 to hit you, which is just barely going to miss your armor of 10 because you're not wearing armor.
Do
So
you get dexterity added? Or?
oh, correct. Yeah, you add your dex too. So yeah, you'd be
That's
fine
11.
either way.
Yeah.
So yeah, the the stick comes down, and whether their weak birdie arms don't hurt, or you're able to sidestep out of the way, it does you no harm. Lastly, the one with the torch is going to step forward and splash out at Xander. 11. So that will hit. As you watch it, as the torch kind of comes down and hits Xander upside the head. Xander goes down. At that point, it goes back to Call.
Okay, I heard weak birdie arms, and then he kind of turned into a robot, and I haven't heard a word since, but I think I heard Xander goes down.
Yes, Xander got hit with a torch.
So
You're still cracking out on me. I have no idea what you're saying.
Oh no!
It looks good on my end.
Uh-oh.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe you should leave and
I
rejoin.
think it's on my end, so I'm gonna reboot my Discord real quick here.
Okay.
Can you guys see Lane? Because Lane's spinning for me.
I can see Lane.
Okay, then I'm also gonna do that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. My only weapon. I don't know if I could run up, snatch up my dagger, and stab in one. Is that possible in one round, or since I threw my dagger and my weapon?
It would be difficult to do in one round. I think if you roll really high on a dex check, I would allow it. But as an alternative, you have a torch that you can use as a weapon.
Yeah. Okay. Let's do it.
I can hear again.
Yay!
That was
All
weird.
right. 13
That will hit.
or 14. Okay. Yeah. Try and get over where I can at least stand over my dagger and then hit him with the torch.
All right, D4 damage.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
With my strength modifier, that's a 3.
Awesome. You bash into him with the torch. You see how his bird-like chest concaves under the weight of a simple strike. At that point, the one next to it, the one with the broken weapon, just bolts out of the room. He just flutters, almost bird-like, like a chicken, flapping his forearms out the door he came, to the door to the south. The one with the torch is about to follow suit. However, before he can, Snaggletooth has another chance to act.
I want to block his escape route, can I? Or, like, do I gotta get around him, or what's the plan here?
Yeah, if you use your move, yeah, you could move around him and then block his exit. Yeah.
I do. I wanna circle strafe him and just, like, get right in front of him and then, like, punch him right in his buzzard beak.
Do it. Roll the hit.
Jesus.
Oh man, you rolled a hit. He ducks out of the way. Clearly, this is a smart, if not cowardly bird. Another con save from Hob.
It's a 15.
15. You are awake. You awaken in the swinging arms of Snaggletooth.
Birds!
You look, and there is a bird down on the ground next to Xander, as Snaggletooth is blocking the doorway from one to escape as well.
Alright. Is that my action on this turn?
No, you have an action. You can act.
I take my action to... Well, I move over to the downed bird and grab its weapon if nobody has, and that's my action and my move.
Okay. You grab the broken weapon on the floor in front of you, and now, Xander, I would like a d20 from you, please.
3.
All right. Nothing happens from Xander's unmoving body. It is now the birdie's turn. One of them is going to strike out at Snaggletooth with the torch in his hand. 11. What's your dex mod?
Just had an idea.
Okay. So it hits. Oh no. So at this point, Snaggletooth also goes down as the torch whacks her upside the head. The bird then is going to use their movement to escape if Claw and Hob do not try to stop them.
Did you say that one of the birds has a helmet?
The helmet is on the ground, yes.
Okay, I how much can I do in the... Okay, I'll tell you what I'm thinking. Turn invisible, grab the helmet, get a bunch of fart milk, and throw it on the bird.
Like, use the helmet as a bucket?
Yeah.
Alright, I'll allow it. Sounds like a good plan.
Do that.
Well,
if I...
good
Okay.
plan.
Go ahead and roll to attack.
Oh no.
You grab it and it splatters out across the wall. It's very hard to aim a helmet. Yes.
Fart
That sound
milk
happens.
goes everywhere.
All right. It is now Crawl's only chance here.
I'm gonna try. I hit him once, right? This is the same
Yes.
one I injured. Okay, I'm gonna
Yes.
try and hopefully I can take him out. Nat 20.
Fantastic. So yeah, double damage into the guy.
So that's 2d4. Right? Or do we? I'm gonna roll 2d4. Or just I'll roll a d4 and double it.
You can do whatever you like. I honestly
There's
don't
a
remember what the
standard-
rule is, and I don't care.
Oh.
So eight damage. Fantastic. Obliterates him. So yeah, you're able to remove him from play. At this point, Snaggletooth, I'd like a d20 from you as well.
Uh-oh. 4.
Okay. The sound of fluttering wings is distant in the hallways, but it seems to be subsiding. It doesn't seem like any more of them are coming your way at this moment.
All right, so 2 of us have dropped, but 1 got back up. Is that right?
Yep. Well, technically 3 of us dropped, and now 1's back up.
Oh.
2 are down.
Oh yeah. I guess I'm pretty strong for a goblin, but I don't know if we can drag him all the way out. We got to climb a 10-foot rope and all that stuff. There you go. There you go. Well, while we're, I don't know any first aid for whatever they are, so I want to check these bodies for anything extra while we're like, hopefully they wake up.
Yeah.
So you're interested in bodies? The birdies?
Yeah, get the feeling they don't have that much, but did they have clothes at all, or is it just feathers?
It's mostly feathers. You do notice at closer examination that they are wearing these simple loincloths. But you also notice that the larger of the 2 has a bandolier on it. The bandolier has 2 small flasks on it. They're empty. And the other one has the helmet and the spear, which is now broken.
My crappy dagger, and so got two empty bottles. That's something, right? So
Let's get some fart milk.
yeah, exactly. Maybe we can throw some fart milk on the next one if you with these. I don't know.
Fuel flasks.
All
I
right,
legit thought Lane meant he was trying to loot our bodies while we're just laying here unconscious.
No, not
No.
yours. I'm gonna let you guys wake up. You want a bottle of fart milk? We got 2 of them. If you want one, Bob?
Okay, so when you investigated the south door, did you...
Oh, it was locked, and that's
was
what
locked.
started all this mess. Yeah.
And then the north door is where the bird guards came from.
Correct.
Yeah. So it sounds like it loops around because they ran past us. They flew over that pit. It sounds like tried to come in on the
Northeast door.
east door,
That we came
Yeah.
in, the northeast door.
and then we closed that. So they just went around and came in the north door. It sounds
Uh-huh.
like.
Yeah. So... Well, how many are left?
One got away. Was it
One,
just one?
one escaped.
Let's go. Let's go get him. Because we know that he wouldn't go in there if he,
Yeah, they seem kind of desperate. Like, they're not the stoutest, which
Are you
bad
guys
for
just
them,
gonna
good for us.
are you gonna leave your friends' bodies unattended with the plan?
Oh
Oh,
yeah,
they're unconscious.
They're-
Yeah.
yeah. It's just the two shorties and the
Can I
big guys are
use
down.
I use the fart milk as smelling salts, and I take a stick or a bit of the broken weapon, and I get some of the helmet, and I just kind of stir it so it goes right in front of their nose until they wake up.
Okay. I would call this a very difficult medicine check. So we'll call this a wisdom check from Hop.
Oh, this is a really bad idea. I'll take you backsies if I could do that. This sounds like a
Okay.
terrible idea.
Okay.
Yeah, let's leave them for
Just-
now.
Still pour milk up there.
Because
Okay. We're
they've got-
leaving them.
Yeah, I mean, we're just gonna check the door has anybody gone into the door to the northwest?
No.
Okay, let's just see where he went. Because he ran in there. So if anywhere is safe, it'd be that anyway, right?
So looked at left and right. What's on the other side of that door?
So as you open the door, there is a room which extends 5 feet further south, but extends 20 feet between east and west. And there's another immediate door to the south.
Wait a second.
Oh, sorry, north. Sorry.
Okay. Sorry. So you say that again. I was confused. So you go north. Okay.
Right? Did I already mess this up? What was the locked door? The locked door is to the south, wasn't it?
Southwest
Right.
is locked door, and then
And
you
they
said
came
that-
in from the north.
Yeah, just to clarify, the door to the northwest is where he fled.
So I think I told you because the door was to the south, or gosh dang it, I keep messing this up. The door to the north was the locked door. He would have came in through the south door.
Oh, I thought it was the other way
No,
around.
the
Okay.
south door
Sorry.
was locked because I said we should go south, and Lane
Yeah,
was
we
like,
were-
I think that too.
Correct.
Yeah.
So
That's
the,
my
the
that's
north
my
Ways
bad.
now.
Oh, here I'll
That's my bad.
I'll flip it. So the door to the northwest of the room is locked, and the door to the south is the one that he fled through. Is that right?
Correct.
I gotcha.
Oh, okay. That changes things. Okay.
All right.
Yep, because I messed that up. When you said go south, I looked at the bottom of my page, and the bottom of my page is actually north, so that's where I messed up there. However, so you open the door to the south, and it extends another 5 feet to the south, and there's another door. Clearly, he would have went through that door because this room is empty.
Somebody have a pole. We take that broken weapon and make sure there's not some kind of trick on the door or the floor there.
Correct. There is no trick on the door or the floor, and you were able to open the door. This room is a 20-foot by 20-foot chamber. Immediately, you notice a few different things here. Across from you, further south, is an archway, which leads to a stairwell going downwards. On the eastern wall, there is another archway, which leads down the corridor. Immediately in the center of this room is a large oaken table. It seems to have multiple scales on it, like weighing scales, and a candelabra that is unlit. There are also 4 stone pillars surrounding the table. The stone pillars which support the ceiling of this like dome-shaped ceiling of this room. And then in the center of the southern wall, there is one more door.
So the entrance to this room, is it in the center north portion of the wall, or is it northeast or northwest?
The doorway you are standing in is in the northwest corner of this room.
Northwest corner. Okay. So
And
let's see.
if you look to the northeast corner, there is an archway which leads back to the corridor with the pit trap.
All right.
So that other corridor is probably where it ran, but couldn't be sure.
Interesting.
You also
Okay. So
you also notice something else too as you step in here. As you step in here, you notice that there are footprints in the ground or across the stone tiles, leading from the archway directly across from you to the doorway, So there's an archway on the southern wall, and the footprints lead from that archway to the doorway also on the southern wall.
Footprints, or are they like taloned footprints like the bird people?
They looked like footprints from common boots, and they're also a dark red color.
Ooh, like clay dirt or blood? Blood would be more brown, I guess, right?
It looks kind of more bloodish, actually.
Bloodish. That's okay.
So sorry, go ahead.
I was like, well, I might as well light that candelabra, maybe? Just
Okay. So you approach the table. First thing you notice as you approach the table is there are rudimentary mathematics carved into it. Like you see E equals 1/3, W equals 3/12, N equals 3/7, and then you see the phrase written harshly in common tongue. It says, "Feed the fish and wash your step."
I'm a little bit far behind, but
Okay. That's all right. We can take our time. You tell me what you got and what you need to know more about.
So just to know where we are, because to map it, you said so. A couple of details here. Okay, so let me start over. So this door that where the hall is in the southwest side of the room we were just in with the fart milk.
No. So if you're in the fart milk room, you guys are heading south. So southwest side of the room.
Southwest
there's a
side
door.
of the room. Okay.
Yep, there's a door. You're heading continuing south. There is one small door, like one small chamber, which is only 5 feet deep, but was 20 feet wide.
20 feet wide.
Yes.
Okay.
And then beyond that, there was another 20 foot by 20 foot chamber, which is where the table is. All the archways are.
Sorry. Okay, so 5 feet. So we go through the door, and then there's it goes 5 feet, but it's 20 feet wide. And then where is the door located on that 20 foot wide wall?
It's literally 2 steps to the south. It's literally right in front of you. So it'd be also on that. It'd be on the southwest side of that room.
Okay, gotcha. 5, 10, 15, 20. So there's another. So it's just a long alcove, interestingly.
Yes.
And then we go through that door, and then you said there's a 20 foot by 20 foot room, and on the northeast side of the room there's an archway, and immediately through that archway we can see the corridor where the pit is, right?
Yes.
Okay, that's interesting. So I think, yeah, it's not lining up. Interesting. Okay. And this door was on the very far southwest corner of the previous room.
Correct.
Huh. And that room was 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30 feet by 30 feet. Math is not adding up. Go ahead, Lane. Sorry. I am lost.
I think I have a rudimentary idea in my head. But so the table had all that stuff written on it. So I'm going to go ahead and just light the candelabra so I can read all that stuff on the table. And so I got a torch in case we come back here. We'll have light in here. But, so people know we've been here. So it said I didn't remember all the letter code kind of math stuff, but it said feed the fish and watch your step.
Oh, wash your step.
That's what I want to make. So wash, not watch, like WASH. Wash your step. Feed the fish and wash your step. And what was the other writing again? Because it sounded.
It looks like mathematics. Like it looks like it says E equals 1/3, W equals 3/12, and N equals 3/7.
N equals 3/7. Okay. Feed the fish and wash your step. Okay. Interesting. And so there's the wall. I mean, so just going back to the dimensions, like Ross was trying. So the easternmost door that I guess at this point would go north or archway goes to the pit room, right? Or
Correct.
corridor.
Yes.
And there's another one. There are two doors to the south.
Okay, so
one of which has footprints that come from it.
There's an archway to the south. On the
Mhm.
southwest corner of the room, there's an archway that leads to a staircase going downward.
Okay.
And then in the center of the southern wall, there's another door. The footprints appear to be coming from the stairs to the door. And then on the eastern wall, there is yet another archway, which leads to a corridor.
On the eastern wall, so there's another archway that goes to another corridor. Okay. So we can go south down some stairs to another door that has footprints that lead to it, or we can go east of that to a corridor through an archway. Is that right?
Yeah, there's an archway to the south, a door to the south, and then an archway to the east. So there's three options there.
Gotcha. Okay.
And got like, oh, this is pretty good. This is pretty fast. This is what I have. Oh no. Okay, so like that's like the pit. I fell into the pit.
You fell into the pit.
So am I just still back here unconscious?
You guys can both give me a D20. We'll see. They just kind of give up. It's like
18.
18. All right, I say with an 18 you wake up. At this point, it's been a while.
Okay.
Xander, you also.
Go check.
I'm gonna say Xander, you also get up. You guys wake up. You have terrible headaches. Xander, you have like a big mark on your forehead that's like singed and like soot is like where the torch hit you. But you do wake up with a terrible headache.
And Jake, with this, I should clarify, like, I am totally cool if you're like, mapping is on you, or close enough, or, it's whatever, it's whatever would be cool. So this is what I have so far, though. I guess that makes sense. Actually, now that I've redrawn it, it makes more sense. Except this is supposed to be 20 feet, so this is why the math doesn't line up. This is 20 feet, and then this one's 30 feet.
Mm-hmm.
So this shouldn't connect to the hallway unless this door is not in the southwest corner.
It's actually on this wall.
The what is on the wall?
This archway is actually on this wall.
Oh, you're saying what? So then, how does it connect to the?
This door is actually over here.
Nope. It's right here. I'll show you.
Okay.
So I'll just draw a little bit. So we got this wall, like this room, let's say, is like this, and it extends 30 feet this way. So it looks more like this. This room is just over slightly further. So this corridor is over here, and not over where you drew it. That make more sense?
Yeah.
It's like this room extends further this direction than any other direction.
Okay, that's my bad.
No, you're right. It's a minor thing, but like, yeah, you kind of had the idea that like this archway leads back that direction. So, but yeah, in the center of this room is the table with the scales and the candelabra, which as you light, you realize that your homemade torch has gone out, as it has timed out, basically.
Makes sense. That was my only torch. We had 10 of them, but I only had one, so.
Right, Xander and Snaggletooth, as you guys awaken, what do you guys want to do?
Lord Abbey, what's going on? Or do we win?
I don't know. I was also taking a nap.
I'll poke my head. Oh, hey guys, y'all are awake. We got a light in here.
We won.
I
follow-
follow a small one.
I follow Crawl into the new room.
So they either went that way, or that way. One escaped after you guys. I killed 2 of them, I think. I've got my knife back. Just as an update. And now we have this room down here. And show them where we are now.
Yep, and the only thing I'd add is there is a door here, which the
Oh,
footprints lead
sorry.
to.
Yeah, I didn't finish that door.
Yeah.
There's like a door.
Bloody
right
footprints.
And so, well, first of all, so we can see through this arch. So obviously, let's poke our head through that. Just see what's over there. Is it the corridor?
Yeah.
Yes, that leads to a corridor. The
Okay.
corridor leads to the edge of the candelabras for light, unless you guys were to continue further.
Wait, that corridor goes on to the east?
Correct.
Okay. All right. Cool. We need some money before we run out of time tonight and have to get out of here. Let's get some money somehow. Gosh.
How big were the bird people we took down earlier?
Human sized.
Right, so probably can't sell those as chickens, I imagine.
Yeah,
It would be a very difficult sell.
Mm-hmm.
With our charisma, it'd be a very difficult sell.
Yeah. Just because I'm a goblin doesn't mean I eat people. I think they count as people.
I feel like no one's gonna buy our fart milk either.
No.
Fart milk and chicken men. It's what's for
Like-
breakfast.
Is there like a joke supply store in town we can sell part milk to?
Well, we just need to check one of these doors. I guess we should just check the normal door before we take into like exploring a whole new corridor or a new level.
Yeah, there are bloody footprints to go there. Who wants to light another torch? Unless we want to take this candelabra with us, or I can do that. I guess I don't know how long it'll last. I mean, what gives off better light, candelabra or a torch?
I'd say a candelabra is equal to a torch.
Okay.
And I apologize, I was behind. Here's what I got: E equals 1/3, N equals 3/7.
Yeah, and W equals 3/12.
3/12, and then it says feed the fish.
Feed. Mm-hmm. And wash your steps.
Wash your steps. Okay, so this is a cipher, and east, west, and north, and either fractions or ratios, and then feed the fish, wash your steps are 3 things. So feed the fish, just to make sure is what it says.
Yep.
Right? And then
Correct.
Wash your steps. Okay, so let's see, east, west, north.
I will also restate that there are measuring scales on the table as well.
Yeah, that's right. 1/3, 3/12, 3/7. Feed the fish, wash your steps, and there's.
Is there anything on the scales? I mean, no sign
Yeah,
of what
good
they might
question.
have been weighing.
No, but as you look at it, it looks like there is fine rust residue, like an iron oxide kind of residue.
I think that
Like something rusty was on the scales, or they're just old scales?
Like something rusty was on the scales.
Okay.
I think the footsteps are part of this, and they
That's what I
lead
was
to
thinking
the
too.
south door, right?
Mhm.
Okay, not the southwest door, the south central door.
Correct.
Yeah.
All right.
And those stairs, there may be something that they got the bloody footprints at the bottom of those stairs, I assume.
Is there
Somebody
rust?
did not watch their step.
Yeah.
Sorry, what'd you say?
Oh yeah. Go ahead. Sorry.
Oh, I was just saying. Looks like somebody did not wash their steps.
Is there rust anywhere else on anything, including the candelabra or residue on the stones, or on the?
No, it doesn't appear to be so. No.
The footsteps just look like, well, they hit. If it's a stone floor, it's one of two things: either it's left something behind, or the floor has a bunch of dust. What are the footsteps imprinted in?
No, it looks like some type of red liquid.
Red
Since
liquid
dried.
that has dried. Oh, it's the wine.
It's the same liquid as. I mean, if you go kind of scrape around in the footprints, is the same thing that's on the scales.
Give me an intelligence check.
Okay. I think I'm pretty smart. Let's see if it checks out. Not so much.
So what you're
Hard to
able
tell.
to do, you're not 100% sure, but you are certain of is not wine and it's not rust. Your gut tells you that it's blood, but it's not a typical browny color, which tells you that it seems pretty fresh, all things considered. If
Sean,
it is blood.
I was waiting for you at this point to come up with like putting the chickens on our feet or something. But anyways,
Can we go check the dead chickens and see is their blood similar to this?
You look at it and no, it's not. It's kind of different. Their blood is more like honey. Actually, it's thick and viscous.
Yeah. So, and whatever was those footprints are, it's not with these bird guys. So somebody else is doing something down here.
I'm gonna toss the torch to Xander again. What are you up to?
Xander's just kind of taking this all in and trying to figure out the cipher, and he goes and listens to he puts his ear up against the door where the footsteps lead to see if he can hear anything.
You don't hear anything coming from the door. You do notice as you're listening, though, taking a moment to listen, that the archway that leads to the corridor, you can hear a sound of very distant echoing water coming from that direction, but there is no sound emitting from this room.
Well, fellas, I hear some water coming down from that corridor over there, but there's nothing coming from this room.
wasn't there some kind of indication too? Well, anyways, yeah. So maybe we ought to check that out. Feed the fish, wash it. We'll get more information that way.
So you guys are going to go through the corridor?
Or down the stairs.
So you're going this direction to eastward. Okay. Who's leading the way?
The goblin.
Okay. Crawl leads the way, holding the candelabra above your head. This corridor leads about 30 or so feet until abruptly stops at a dead end. However, immediately at meeting the dead end, there is a portcullis to your left, which would be heading north, and there is a door heading south. As your torchlight peers through the portcullis, you can't see anything that the light can touch. It appears to be a very large chamber in that direction. There's also no mechanism within sight that would open the portcullis.
And it's big enough that we can't really see anything other than just wide open space in there. No.
Correct.
Okay.
However, the room that you are also in, as you take another moment to peer through, you look upwards and you realize that the ceiling, which is about 30 feet up, there are these long white ribbons hung from the ceiling. These ribbons reach about 3 inches wide and several feet long. The closest one within reach is about 10 feet above your head.
Hmm. White ribbons. Anybody got any ideas?
We can explore a little bit more before we make any decisions, is my thought.
Yeah.
Okay.
I checked to
There's a-
see if the door is locked. The one that's heading south. I just checked to see if it's locked. I don't open it yet.
You check it. It is open.
Okay. Well, fellas, I think I'm gonna risk it and see what's behind door number 3 here. Any objections?
Oh, it sounds good to me.
No objections.
I open the
As
door.
as you open it, you reveal a 20-foot by 20-foot chamber. Immediately, you're caught off guard by your own reflection, which sits on the eastern wall. It is cracked and shattered as several pieces are missing from a mirror which takes up the whole wall. Directly across from you, on the southern wall in the center of the wall, there's yet another door. This room is empty, besides a few long black feathers which are scattered across the floor.
Feathers, and then
And from this point, you can hear the sound of rushing water, which is muffled behind the wall directly to the south.
okay. And you said there's no other doors in this room. It's just a barren room.
Correct.
Okay.
I thought you said there was another door.
There's one door directly across from you. There would be a
Okay.
door here. Thank you for catching that, Thomas.
All right. Some feathers. We hear water back here, so we could. I think we might as well try to investigate this and figure out, figure out this area. Although we're running out of time, I want money.
Yeah. I mean, we could always pick up exactly where we leave off here. So,
Oh, okay.
because that is the plan, right? We're playing the next 2 weeks, so that's the plan anyway. Okay.
I was
So,
wondering why he kept trying to retreat.
are we going to try this door then? Is that the plan?
I'm
Yeah,
down.
Xander tries that door. Yeah.
Okay. As you open it, you reveal a chamber which is roughly 60 feet north of south and 200 or so feet between east and west. There is a large 12-foot river that runs down the center of the room. The river is this uh, uh, clear liquid, but not quite water, as it hisses and pops and sizzles almost like steaming water, I guess, but there is no heat coming from it. There are long planks of wood, most of them brittle and dry rotted charwood, that kind of make up these hazardous bridges between them. And on the far side of the room, you can see there is a massive pile of brambles and branches that looks similar to a giant's bird nest. Um, uh, so on the northeast corner of this room, there is another doorway.
All
But yeah,
right.
the sound of rushing water kind of echoes off the stone-hewn walls, and it's very loud in here.
And I missed it. You said there's a current running through the center of it?
Yes, and
Okay.
it runs east to west.
And you said there's a door at the northeast that you don't have to cross the river to get to, right?
Correct,
And which way's the water running?
east to west.
Oh, sorry. It's going west from the east. Oh, gotcha. Sorry. Water's going this way. Right. Okay. Yeah, I mean, we can keep exploring too.
Yeah. So there's feathers around it in the and then a nest-looking thing on the opposite side of this river, on the where those planks and stuff are making a little bridge, right? So I
Yep.
wonder if that's. Is there any movement or anything over there? Or any of our bird friends around in that nest or anything? Can I see? Is it
As you
how
say
much of
these thoughts out loud, you realize it's incredibly hard to hear over the sound of the rushing water.
Hmm.
I just came up with the name of this level. I've named it for myself, and I don't want to know what you named it, Jake. I'm gonna make up my own names for everything I encounter, and I love it.
Okay.
It's
Are
called
any of the bridges like slightly? Oh, I'm sorry, Ross. I thought you were keeping it a secret.
No. I want Jake to keep the real name a secret, but this is obviously level 1, the fart milk roost.
God. Oh god, that's
Just
great.
as I intended it.
Are any of the bridges like partially in the water, or like being splashed on as like on top of them as the water rushes by?
What information are you trying to glean from this?
I'm trying to see if like maybe one of the bridges has something to do with the whole wash your step.
The bridges don't look to be like partially in the water by any means. The water current is very rapid through here. Um, but you do notice that most of these partially made bridges look really brittle. Like, actually, if you were to put your weight on them, they probably wouldn't hold anyway.
Hmm.
people got hollow bones? Maybe I don't know.
Xander goes and opens the northeast door.
Okay. It leads down a corridor heading north.
Fellows, I found another corridor. Wanna adventure it?
Yeah, how far?
Yeah.
Toward the end of the light, obviously, at this point.
Yep. Yep.
Okay. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30.
At this point, your candelabra is wearing thin, as
All
this
right.
candelabra is made for good light, but not for good time.
Gotcha. Well, when it runs out, I stick it in my pack and ask for a torch.
Okay.
Because that means we've used one torch so far. Because the candelabra got us now. I think we had 10,
Correct.
so we're on
I will
torch number
happily provide
9.
another torch.
Correct. You light your torch and you head down the corridor. The corridor stretches a dozen or so feet until it reaches another door. As you guys begin to walk down the corridor, who would be the last through the doorway?
I mean, I'm probably third, so I imagine Xander would be last? No, Xander was at the doorway, so
Probably
Hob?
Hob. I'd say Hob was the last
Okay.
through then. Hob, as you were stepping through the corridor, or the threshold of this doorway into the corridor, you hear a sound that is barely louder than the rushing water behind you.
What's it sound like?
Almost like a large splash, or like the breaching of a whale.
And this is, where do I hear this in relation to this?
You hear it directly behind you in the stream.
Oh. I say, hey, everybody, there's something in the water back there.
You turn around to look towards the water, and in the center of the stream, you see the largest wild boar you have ever seen. However, the wild boar seems to be bathing in the water, comes up gurgling out of it, with 12 legs that resemble that of a crocodile, and it slithers up into the pile of brambles, and you can't see it anymore as it hides away within the brambles on the opposite side of the river.
Say, what's going on back there?
There's something big back there in the water.
all the better that we're not there anymore. Close the door.
All right, yeah, I'll close the door.
Crawl, you meet yourself with another door.
Okay. Listen at this door and check it for locks and all that sort of stuff.
As you begin to check it for locks, you actually do find that there are several of these small brass pins at the bottom of the door that go into little inlets on the floor itself. Without pulling them from this side, this door would not be able to open from the opposite side. But you're able to pull the pins out, which you can now keep or set aside here in this corridor. 4 little brass pins.
4 brass pins? Okay. We'll keep those. Never know. Like, are they like how long are they?
So I pictured them like in the same dimensions of a crayon, like the same dimensions
Okay.
of a crayon.
Gotcha. And they were just kind of were there like little like
They're,
grooves or
they're
like
nope,
spots?
they're simple cylinders.
But they were wedging the door closed from this end.
Correct. And they
Okay.
extended just beyond the lock for you able to pluck them out from this side.
Okay. Well, I'm collecting scrap metal if nothing else between this candelabra and some brass pins. I don't know how much we can get for scrap metal if they're any worth anything, but and I got 3 silver bells. I don't know.
Oh man, these are gonna save the game.
And a bottle of fart milk. So.
Heck yeah. All right. So we can go through the door, right?
Yes. As you open.
Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
As you open the door, this chamber is about 10 feet by 10 feet. There is a large chest to your left, which would be on the western wall. There's a large chest. It is wrapped in these rusty chains. And directly across from you on the northern wall, there is yet another door. Oddly enough, the eastern wall of this room, though is carved out of hewn stone, it undulates and moves, almost like a jelly or a waterfall, a very slow moving, oozing waterfall.
Like that. Anybody want to poke that wall with my pole, or should I leave it alone?
I say it's better left untouched.
Yeah. There's a chest with rusty chains, huh?
So far, I've got the fart milk fish roost of the crocobore.
Is the chest able to be lifted up?
You're going to try to give it a tug?
Sure.
It is heavy, but if 2 of you carry it, you probably could get it out.
Fellas, I say we found our treasure. I say we take this chest and cut our losses and get out of here before something bad happens.
Yeah. Yeah.
And we can come back if we really want to. I mean, I guess did we come here searching for those merchants that disappeared? Is that what started? I guess,
yeah. Oh, yeah, the merchants. I completely
What
forgot
are we
about the
doing here?
merchants.
That's
Well,
right.
something happened to the merchants, right? Because there was the
Yeah.
wine trail. So something happened. And now, I mean, yeah. I guess we don't know yet. I don't know what happened to the merchants.
But the plan is to go ahead and take the chest and skedaddle on out of here?
I'm down with that.
Probably dead, right? We can come back and, I'm sure they're already dead. If we want to find out what happened to them, we can come back later. They'll still be dead, right?
I mean,
Dead is dead, good sir. Dead is dead.
sometimes dead is better.
Alright, you take your chest with you. You guys begin to march your way back down past the broken mirror. up to the portcullis, through the archway, out past the table, going around the milky pool, and back out to the the Oaken Hollow, where you heave and hoe between all four of you guys. You're able to get the chest out of the hovel and out into the ground earth. And just by nightfall, you guys have emerged.
I say we try to trek it back to town as quick as possible.
Yeah. Rather sleep in an inn than out here where things kidnap you and drag you into a tree to die.
All right. All right. So as you guys are going, I'm just gonna check one more time. See if something
Fingers
happens
crossed.
along your way. You guys begin to march with the weight of this heavy chest. You guys have to take turns heaving it. Uncertain of what is inside, you do know back
You
to
cut
town
out.
just by midnight. You guys make it back to town.
I suggest we find a different. Like, I know we have a free night at the inn, but I suggest we find a different inn since we did not sell his box and we have this box full of treasure.
I mean, before you take your treasure into town, too, you guys can stash it somewhere else, too. You don't have to bring it into town. You guys barely know anybody in town, too.
Yeah, I mean, we could just tell him like, "Hey, we're still working on it
We're-
too."
Yeah.
Yeah.
I say we take it back into town and to the inn, and we take turns keeping watch at night to make sure nobody steals our treasure.
Wait, have we opened this chest yet?
We
No.
haven't yet. So
It's got rusty chains on it.
Okay. And there's no locksmith we can pay my final gold piece in town to figure out that it's full of clothes.
you could probably take it to the Smithy's Guild, and maybe Rayleigh or Stan would do it.
Yeah, I'd give my final gold piece to the Smith's Guild to ask them to open it.
Okay. They come forward with some heavy rasps and begin to scrape away at it. It takes them a few hours actually of scraping through these heavy chains, but eventually they do make their way through it. Opening it up, they reveal 12 golden goblets.
Ooh. Yeah, baby.
All right, so by 4, that's 3 each. Nice.
I'd say, fellas, I said it's a job well done, wouldn't you say?
So, oddly enough, that is 36 gold altogether. 36 gold worth of goblets. I would say between the bells and the pins and the candelabra, that could possibly scrounge you up 4 more to make it to an even 40 for everyone to level up to level 1. That's
Woohoo.
10 gold to level up to each level, times level.
right.
Do we get to keep the gold, or do we use up our gold by leveling up?
Would you rather stay at level 0 and use your gold?
No.
Or would
no,
you rather
I'd
be
rather-
level 1?
No, he's
I'd
asking.
rather level up.
He's asking if you do get to keep it, or if you spend it to be able to level.
Yeah, that's how it works. Is you spend it to level. So if you would like to
Gotcha.
spend,
Okay.
we each get 10 gold as your share, and then you can spend it to level up, or you can save it and spend it however you'd like is your worldly commodities.
Okay, I'd like to level up and might as well do it now unless you all are ready to hit the hay. I'm down to level up and get my character sheet rounded out.
I would also like to level up.
All right. So, Xander is a wizard, or you just took a wizard apprentice role?
Well, I'm a sailor, but I'm gonna go with the wizard. And Let's see. Can I go ahead and select my languages and spells?
Yeah, go for it.
Sweet.
Tell us what it is too. I'm curious.
Me too. Sean, what are you gonna pick? First class goes.
I'm torn because part of me wants to be like, I'm gonna roll for it, but half those classes will kill me.
I'm gonna roll for my languages. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay, I'll just roll a d10.
I'm a fighter.
2. So
Nice.
okay, so I speak Sylvan and Goblin, and Celestial, and Primordial. And then I get spells. Let's see. Gonna go with Burning Hands, Magic Missile, and Mage Armor.
Okay.
And then I roll for my Wizard talent. Should I go ahead and do that?
Yep, and your HP too.
Okay, so 2d6. 7 plus 2 to intelligence stat, or plus 1 to wizarding spellcasting checks. I'm gonna go plus 2 to my intelligence.
So you're at 16 now?
Yep.
Nice.
And I learned a spell from a scroll. Let's see. Do I want?
Right. Sean, did you roll for your hit points?
I did not yet. My meds are starting to kick in a little bit, so I'm getting kind of dumb. It's great.
What?
Oh, I see. So I have to find a scroll in order to learn it. Never mind. Okay, I don't have the scroll yet. Sorry.
I thought that's what you rolled on your talents, but that makes sense.
Is that a +8 to my health, or is my health now 8 total?
Your health will be 8 total. It kind of replaces it. Okay. What about Hob?
Definitely a thief. You want me to roll it?
You can. Yeah.
All right, here we go. I got a whopping 1 hit point. So I got
Nice.
2, I guess. Actually, I suppose that might just be 1. I don't know. What's up
Yeah,
here.
it's just 1. It's 1.
All right, and then very simple 2d6. I got 10, which is +1 to melee. So definitely good that Hob is a thief because he's going to have that +1 to attack, plus backstab, plus being able to disappear. So, and I now have training, and I have advantage anytime I'm trying to climb, sneak, all this stuff. So very
Nice.
and definitely needs to be a thief.
Nice. And Shaw.
Huh?
Or Shaw. Crawl.
I can't decide between fighter, thief, or wizard. My highest is intelligence.
Just roll a d3. And then you got a smith for you.
Yeah, that's.
Roll a 1d4, get a priest.
I rolled a 3, so that would be a thief, I guess.
There you
So
go.
1 to 2, 2 to 3 would be a thief.
All right.
That feels right, but that's because I play thieves every time.
Hey, these are good. These are good.
Yeah, I love me some thieves. Like every character is a thief. Yeah. All right. So thief is what, a D4 for.
Yep.
hit points?
D4, add your con, which is nothing for you.
Yeah. Let's see. So I'll just do it in here. So it's. No, I'm not cheating. I also got 1, of course.
Nice.
So I have total
and then
2 hit points.
Thomas, did you roll your hit point?
Yeah, I got 2 HP minus 1 modifier, so I have 1 measly little HP.
Nice. I love it. It makes the fighter seem so much tankier now when it's 1118.
Okay, so 6 to 9 for
So
my.
now,
I get one talent, right?
correct.
Okay, +2 to strength, dexterity, or charisma. So I think I'm going to take a +2 to dexterity. So
All right.
I rolled +1 to an armor of my choice. Can I just like sit on that till I actually have an armor?
Yeah, or you can. I'll just say you can apply a +1 AC to now. You know, like just like you have +1 base AC.
Okay.
And
That
then
will work.
whenever you have armor, it'll just transfer to that. But right now you have no armor because we're broke.
Yeah, that's why I was like, how did I even do this?
Alright, I hope you guys enjoyed our first session. We'll play again next week. Hopefully everyone can make it. And then we'll have a week after that to keep playing, and then after that we'll just to see if Ross wants to make up his mind, and maybe we'll have to work out something with scheduling, and we'll go from there.
Can we go ahead and choose our alignment and deity?
Yeah, so deity is gonna be a little trickier because I have my own pantheon.
Okay.
However, you can roll a d20, and I can tell you which god you may or may not worship.
I am down.
There, or
I
you can
rolled
just
a 9.
a 9. Okay, now let me flip to my 9. 9 is Mogus.
Whoa.
Ironically enough, your last character did not like Mogus, and you voted for Mogus.
I got a 15.
A 15 is Sebi. Sebi is the goddess of balance.
So
10.
what alignment is Mogus?
Mogus would be chaotic, and Sebi would be neutral.
let's roll. What's a 14?
14 is Rise, the god of fortune and favor.
That makes sense.
He's a lawful god.
That doesn't make sense. Never mind. I don't like.
Mm.
I was thinking fortune. Oh, not that kind of fortune, I guess. Okay,
Fortune, favor, fate, and destiny.
that kind of makes sense.
And
I'll
then
take it.
there, like if you read the Google Docs that I dropped in the thing, there's like a brief thing about each of them, each of the gods in there.
What was the 10?
A 10 is Naya, goddess of knowledge and fertility.
Great.
Makes sense.
So I'm a fighter, but I'm also a bard.
Yep.
Looks like I'm creating another firebrand, another I can't even remember my character's name now. Ross, what was my character that I had? That was the
Draco?
firebrand? Draco, yeah. I'm
Oh,
building
Draco, that's
another
right.
Draco. Yeah.
Cool. Well, thanks a lot, Jake.